I just thought I'd upload one more video. I feel decent enough to upload one. If I don't do it, I'll forget to, do it. I don't ever know how I'm gonna feel from minute to minute, day to day, week to week. So I just thought I'd go ahead and do this. Guys, I always say pray for me about money, because obviously a lot of money ain't gonna solve everything in my life, but boy, would it solve a lot. People will tell me to go gamble, like really gamble. All I do is when I go and gamble, I play like the scratch-off tickets. They're like $1, I don't buy many of them, and I play them hoping I'll win something. Very rarely have I get it that it's mostly a scam, but when you're in my position, you'll do anything, But I have like I'll talk about gambling, and I'll hear these people say, oh, I went to gamble and I won $1,000, and yeah, I mean that'd be good if I won $1,000. Don't get me wrong, but in the scheme of my life, that's not going to change anything. Winning you can't live on $1,000. You know what I mean? That's not going to change my life. I mean, it'd have to be 10,000 and more, for it to change anything, to actually help me. But the reason I'm asking this, guys, is there's one way possibly that I think I've mentioned this before in videos, but there is one way possibly financially that I could improve drastically and maybe not have to work. I don't know, I may still have to, I have no idea, it's so expensive to live in the United States now. It used to not be, but it's getting worse and worse each year. And I have an aunt, I've mentioned her before. I'm not going to mention her name or anything, and it's she's kind of in our situation, if I'm talking about incel, loneliness and all that. And she's real bitter and real angry, and just like us. She's like us, just reverse it. She's a lot like us, but she's a woman, and she never had, she didn't have the internet in her youth and middle age. She didn't have all that. I don't even know if she has an internet account. I have no idea. I don't even know if she has. I'm sure she has a cell phone, but I don't know if it's a real good one. She probably has like the flip phone, and that kind of stuff. I don't blame her, but that's probably what she's got. But she lives by herself, and never married, never had kids. I think she was married before, but it was long time ago. Like before I never remembered her being married, so she was married long before I was born, and it wasn't for very long. So, but she's real bitter. But she had a good job, middle class. She was a middle class person, and had a pretty decent job, and has a pretty good, had a pretty good retirement. She's fine. I mean, she can take care of herself. She has a patio home. She smoked a lot, still does, and she has a lot of health problems, and or at least she does now, and still smokes. Just needs to quit, but she won't. All that, and it's it's interesting, because she's so bitter like us. I need to just get this video going. She's she's angry and she's bitter, and she's like us. Like, she doesn't want to celebrate the holidays anymore. She doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas. I don't know if she did. I doubt she decorates. I don't know if she's even physically able to do that anymore. She's elderly now, and she doesn't. She never went and took a trip. She had a nice vehicle, but never went and took a trip or did anything because I guess she's by herself. She used to say, all I do is take pills. And, she took medication, antidepressants, all that, benzos, the standard stuff that you take when you're depressed and in this modern world and you're alone and you don't have anything. And she was talking to us. This was about 3 years ago, I guess. Yeah, it was before COVID. It was the last get-together we had before she said she just didn't want to do them anymore, which I don't blame her. I wish we'd just give up the holidays, but, my family won't. They'll never quit. She was talking about, money, and I was talking, she knows my situation, but she never talks. Like, I'll call her when Mom was in the hospital back then and it was real bad. I needed somebody to talk to desperately. Like it was bad, at that time. And she wouldn't talk. We'd get on the phone, and I think she kind of felt like she hadn't talked for a minute because I was pretty much overwhelmed at the time. But it was like we would talk for like 5 minutes. Well, I gotta let you go. Of course, she didn't have to. She just didn't want to talk anymore. And I finally just quit calling her. Just like everybody else, it was pointless. But we were talking about, this was before, COVID and everything. And we were talking about money, and I remember I said, boy, if I just had a lot of money. I said, it's not going to solve my problems. I'd be okay. I could take care of myself. I'm not a materialistic consumer. I don't go out and buy globs of things. I don't have the money to do that anyway, but I never did. And she, I'll never forget what she said. She said, well, you don't have, we were talking about inheritance, leaving money. And she said, well, you don't have anything to worry about. I've never talked with her about it again because, like I said, she's bizarre and she won't talk. She's basically a hermit, I think, other than just getting groceries and stuff like that. And I would ask her, do you have, you can't go up and say, hey man, when you're dead, can I have a lot of money? I can't do that, But man, if I knew I was going to inherit a boatload of money, I would be so thankful, man. God, in this situation, I'm not a greedy materialist. I don't care. Like I said, I'm not a materialistic consumer. I don't go out and buy stupid garbage all the time. I wouldn't waste it on the next fancy truck. I think I'd probably just get a vehicle I can drive. If I never needed a vehicle, I don't know if I'd ever buy one. But where I live at, you can't get very far if you don't have a vehicle. But my problem living here is they tell you, oh, I can't inherit. She said she talked to her lawyer, and he was like, well, if he's on disability, he can't inherit. Even though the guy that I was telling you about that lives away from here in another state, that went through the benzo withdrawal like me, he inherited. And like he said, it's how he made his living. He said, I wouldn't be able to survive if I didn't have that. So I got to check it. It's always something in this stupid country. Oh, if I could make a video on how much I hate the United States now, but there's no point in that. Ain't nobody going to listen to that. America's great, blah, blah, blah. But, boy, pray for me on that, guys, because if I could inherit a lot of money or win a lot of money, whatever, it would be a huge yoke off my back. It would be a huge stone thrown off of me. It's not going to solve everything, but God, would it help, It would just help, for God's sake. It's so bad right now. I worry about everything, because I'm just overwhelmed. Scared of everything, scared of being alone, scared of taking care of myself, scared of having nobody, scared of finances, scared of just everything, and just that one thing would take a load off of me. Pray for me, guys. Boy, do I need it. That's all.